I want you to try something for me. I know you're probably listening to this on a commute or, doing the dishes, but if you can, just humor me for a second. Close your eyes.
Okay, I'm doing it. I'm ready.
All right. Picture this. You are standing on the narrow shoulder of a massive, chaotic highway. I'm talking 8 lanes of traffic, just rush hour on steroids.
Okay.
Cars are flying past you at like 90 miles an hour. Horns are blaring. You can smell the exhaust. And the wind from the semi-trucks is actually pushing you back. It is loud, it's overwhelming, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, my heart rate is already going up just thinking about it. It's total sensory overload.
Exactly. Now, in the middle of all that chaos, you reach into your back pocket to check for your wallet, and it's gone.
Oof. That is a terrifying feeling.
Right. It's just this instant visceral panic. Your stomach just drops. You look back at that endless stretch of asphalt behind you. It could be anywhere.
Someone could have grabbed it.
A stranger could have grabbed it. The wind could have blown it into a ditch. The sheer number of variables is it's completely out of your control. You're exposed, vulnerable, and the road feels like an enemy.
It's the definition of helplessness, really.
Okay, keep your eyes closed for one more second. We're going to switch scenes. Just pause that image. Now imagine you're safe inside your own home. You're sitting in your favorite armchair.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's raining outside, but you're warm. You've got a cup of coffee. You reach into your pocket and the wallet isn't there. You check the side table. Not there either.
Okay.
Notice the feeling. It's completely different, isn't it?
Oh, totally. I mean, it's annoying. I might grunt a bit and have to get up and look for it, but it's not a crisis.
No.
I know it's in the house somewhere. It's probably under a cushion or, in my jacket pocket by the door.
Exactly. There's a sense of assurance. And why? Because the environment is safe. You know the wallet isn't lost in the void. It's misplaced within a controlled space. Finding it is inevitable. You can open your eyes now.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. You're setting up a metaphor for control versus chaos.
Precisely. That distinction between the panic of the highway and the safety of the home, that's the core theme of what we're unpacking today. We're doing a deep dive into a text called Finding the Wallet, Ancient Wisdom for the AI Age.
Yeah.
And honestly, reading this, it felt like someone finally put a name to that background anxiety I think we've all been feeling lately.
It really is a fascinating piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
It takes this very philosophical, almost spiritual lens to tackle what is, arguably the most modern technical problem we have.
Yeah.
The existential dread caused by artificial intelligence.
And let's be real, it is dread. The source argues that right now we are living in a time where the youth of the world, and honestly, plenty of us who aren't so young anymore, feel like we've lost our wallet on the highway.
It captures the zeitgeist perfectly.
Hmm.
The text mentions that young minds from India to the Americas are just paralyzed by these panic-induced questions.
Yeah.
They aren't asking simple things like, what major should I pick anymore? They're asking, what is actually real in a world of deepfakes?
And what's my purpose if a machine can do my job better and faster?
Exactly.
It's that feeling of looking at the road, the technology, the market, social validation, and realizing it changes every single second. You can't find your footing. I was scrolling through X the other day, and I saw a demo of a new AI coding agent. And for a second, I felt that highway panic. I thought, if I were 20 years old right now, learning to code, I'd feel like the ground just fell out from under me.
That's the road sickness the source talks about. People are searching for their identity, their wallet, on the road of technology. And because they're searching outside, in this volatile external world that's moving at Mach 10, they are terrified.
So the whole mission for this deep dive is to explore the source's argument that you are looking in the wrong place. We need to move the search for purpose from the highway to the home.
And this is where it gets really interesting and, maybe a little controversial. The source makes a pretty bold claim right out of the gate. It challenges the way we even view AI. Fundamentally, it says we need to stop looking at it as this accidental disaster or an alien invasion.
Right, which is how it's usually framed.
It is. It's a crucial reframe, and it's a hard one for people to swallow. When we talk about AI, we usually use language from, like, a catastrophe movie. We talk about it like it's a meteor strike, some random asteroid that appeared out of nowhere to destroy human relevance.
Yeah, like we were just minding our own business, evolving nicely, doing our thing, and then boom, ChatGPT lands on the front lawn and ruins the party.
But the source argues that this view is a fundamental misunderstanding of how the universe works. It posits that nothing in the universe is random. Nothing is sudden in the cosmic sense. The cosmos isn't a messy painting where paint just got spilled. It is a precise calculation.
Okay, I have to play devil's advocate here, because that sounds a little bit fatalistic. Or maybe overly deterministic. Like, oh, don't worry, the robot apocalypse was scheduled. If everything's a calculation, do we even have free will?
That's the natural reaction. But the source isn't arguing for fatalism in the sense that you're a puppet. It's arguing for causality. It uses this beautiful analogy to explain it. The banyan seed. Have you ever seen a banyan tree?
Oh yeah, massive things. With the roots dropping from the branches, they look like a whole forest in one tree.
Exactly. But imagine holding the seed of that tree. It's tiny. It looks simple. But if you were to analyze that seed, or to use a modern term, its source code, you'd realize that everything about the future tree is already encoded inside.
The size, the color of the leaves, all of it.
The size it will grow to, the color of the leaves, the strength of the roots, even the taste of the fruit.
So the tree doesn't just make it up as it goes along. It's unfolding a code that was there from the beginning.
Correct. The apple doesn't surprise the apple tree. And the source applies this exact logic to technology. It argues that AI is the fruit of a tree that was planted at the very dawn of human intelligence. It was predefined in the script of our evolution.
So we aren't random biological accidents trying to survive a tech revolution. We are part of a script that's just unfolding as it should.
That's the idea.
So in this view, the tech bros in San Francisco didn't just invent AI out of thin air. They sort of discovered the next line of code in the human operating system.
That's a great way to put it. It's an excavation of a potential that was always there. And that brings up the other major metaphor here, which I think is going to help a lot of listeners who feel like things are spinning out of control, the cosmic director.
I liked this one. It frames reality as a production, which, I mean, given how dramatic everything feels right now, it seems pretty appropriate.
It fits, doesn't it? Think of a movie director. Before the camera ever starts rolling, the director knows the ending. The set is built. The lighting is rigged. The actors are cast. The source argues that the cosmic director, or the creative force of the universe, prepared this era of AI just as intentionally as the Stone Age or the Industrial Age was prepared.
So the set design has changed. We used to have stone tools, then steam engines, and now we have neural networks and quantum chips, but we're still the actors.
That is the key insight. The problem isn't the set design. The set has to change. That's the nature of a story. The problem isn't the AI or the economy or the politics. The problem is that we've forgotten where actors playing a role.
We've gotten so obsessed with the prop.
Exactly. The money, the algorithms, the status. We've forgotten the plot. We're hyper-focused on the background scenery and missing the actual story.
The source puts it so bluntly, the algorithm can generate money now. That's a prop. What matters is, do we understand the cause? Do we understand our role in this cosmic film?
Because if you think you are the prop, if you think you are your job as a graphic designer, you're going to be terrified when that prop changes.
And this leads us into a pretty deep rabbit hole, but we have to go there. Because if this is a script or a movie, then what is the nature of reality?
Yeah.
Silicon Valley loves talking about simulation theory, this idea that we're all living in a giant computer program. You hear Elon Musk talk about it, all the tech podcasts.
Yeah.
It's very matrix coded.
It's very trendy right now. But the source points out that ancient sages understood this thousands of years before tech bros started podcasting about it. They just didn't use the metaphor of a computer. They used the mechanism of sleep and dreams.
This comparison really stuck with me because everyone dreams. It's a universal experience. But we usually just dismiss dreams as fake.
We dismiss them after we wake up.
Yeah.
But let's break down the dream analogy. Think about a nightmare you've had. Let's use the one from the text. You're running from a tiger in a jungle.
Okay.
In that moment, does it feel fake?
No, not at all. I've woken up sweating from dreams before. The fear is real. My heart is pounding. I'm gasping for air.
Exactly. The fear is real. The adrenaline is real. The cortisol flooding your system is real. But the
tiger's not there.
The tiger has no atoms. It has no mass.
Exxon.
It's existing without existing. It is a projection of your mind. You were the creator, the director, and the actor in that dream all at once.
Okay, I follow you. The reaction is biological, but the cause is illusory.
And the source connects this directly to what AI is doing right now, which is kind of spooky when you think about it.
Suki, how?
Well, look at what generative AI does. It creates photorealistic images of people who have never been born. It writes poetry filled with emotions that it doesn't actually feel. It hallucinates facts.
Right.
The source calls AI dreaming while wide awake.
That is a cool and, Yeah, slightly eerie way to put it, dreaming while wide awake. It's like we've built a machine that hallucinates just like we do when we sleep.
And here's the twist. We have built a machine that mimics the nature of Maya, or illusion. Now, for many people, that's terrifying. It makes them ask, well, what is real then? If I see a video of the president declaring war, but it's AI, and I feel panic, the panic is real, but the war isn't.
Yeah, that feels like the opposite of liberating. That feels confusing. It makes me feel like I can't trust my own eyes. It makes me want to log off and hide.
It is confusing if you look at the highway,
Yeah.
but the source argues this shouldn't be scary. It should be liberating because it's a mirror. It proves that intelligence doesn't need biology. It proves forms can appear real without being solid.
Okay.
And here's the big takeaway line from the text. If the tiger in the dream cannot hurt the waker in the bed, the AI in the world cannot hurt the self within you.
Okay, let's unpack that because that's the pivot point. If I'm dreaming about a tiger and the tiger bites me, I might feel pain in the dream. But the actual person sleeping in the bed is fine.
Exactly. The source is telling us that our anxiety comes from thinking the dream, the external world, the career ladder, the tech landscape is the only reality. We're trying to build a permanent house in a dream that's about to change.
We're identifying with the dream character, not the dreamer.
You got it. So the solution isn't to try and control the dream, because you can't control the highway, you can't stop AI from getting smarter. But to what? Wake up. Or at least realize where you actually are.
Right, you have to realize you're the one in the armchair, not the one on the highway. And this brings us to the operating manual. There's this huge misconception, especially among younger people, that spirituality is something you do when you're old. You know, a retirement plan for when your knees are weak and you have nothing else to do.
Yeah, like, I'll worry about the meaning of life when I'm 75 and sitting on a porch.
Yeah.
Right now, I need to hustle. I need to learn Python. I need to get that promotion.
Exactly.
The source attacks that idea pretty aggressively. It argues that spirituality isn't a hobby for the elderly. It's the operating manual for being human. And it uses a high-speed analogy here, Formula One.
I liked this one because it completely flips that spirituality is slow stereotype. It says, navigating the age of AI without spirituality is like trying to drive a Formula One car without a steering wheel.
Think about the power we have now. We have AI tools that can do the work of 100 people. We have global connectivity, immense speed. Technology amplifies everything. But if you have all that horsepower with no direction, no internal compass.
It's just rocketing forward into a wall.
That's it. The faster the car, the better the driver needs to be. You can't put a toddler in a Ferrari.
And right now, humanity is a bit like a toddler in a Ferrari.
We have the engine, GPT-4, Claude, all these tools, but do we have the steering? And this goes back to the finding the wallet idea. If you're looking for answers in the material world, the road, you are fighting a losing battle. The variables just change too fast.
Think about it practically. You decide to learn a specific coding language to secure your future. You spend 2 years mastering it. By the time you do, AI writes it better.
Exactly. You master a market skill, the market shifts overnight. If your self-worth is tied to those external skills, you are going to be in a constant state of crisis. You're building on sand.
So you have to change the reference point. You can't anchor yourself to the skill or the job title.
But how do you actually do that? Because, I still have to pay my rent. I can't just meditate my bills away.
Fair question. If you change the reference, you change the question. Instead of asking, how do I fit into this world, which is a question about the costume and the set, you ask, who is the I that is experiencing this world?
That's the pivot. That is finding the wallet at home.
Correct. When you turn inward, when you explore the cause of your life rather than the effect, you find a stability that technology cannot touch. The source explicitly says, the search for the self is the only search that yields a permanent find. Everything else is temporary.
It's interesting because usually when you hear that kind of advice, turn inward, find yourself, it sounds like a call to drop out of society.
Yeah, go live in a cave, ignore the AI, pretend the world isn't changing. Be a Luddite.
Right. But the source isn't saying that at all, is it?
Not at all. And that's a really important distinction. This isn't about running away from the highway. We still have to drive on it. We still have to work, use these tools. It's about knowing where your home is so you can navigate the highway without panic.
The text mentions the future outlook. It says, today it's AI, tomorrow it's quantum computing. The highway is only getting faster.
The props will keep changing. The road is going to get busier and louder. That's inevitable.
But the source argues that if you know you are the actor and not the costume, you can actually play the role better.
Wait, how does knowing it's a costume make me better at my job?
Well, think about an actor on stage. If an actor is genuinely terrified that they are the character, that if the character dies, they die, they're going to be stiff,
Anxious.
anxious. They're going to play it safe. They'll be paralyzed by fear. But if the actor knows, hey, this is a role, I'm the one playing it, they can take risks, they can improvise, they can have fun with it. The source argues that if you find that internal stability, you can build businesses, use AI, generate wealth, but you won't be possessed by it.
You play the game doesn't play you. That's a profound shift. It's the difference between being a victim of the economy and being a participant in it.
Exactly. You are the consciousness witnessing the simulation. When you find the wallet at home, when you find that internal stability, you can walk back out onto that chaotic highway and the noise, it just doesn't bother you as much. You know where your valuables are.
You aren't checking your pockets every 5 seconds in a panic.
So bringing it all back together, we started with the panic of the lost wallet on the highway, that feeling of the world speeding by and taking our purpose with it.
And we've moved to the safety of the home, the realization that the panic just comes from looking in the wrong place. We're trying to find permanence in a world that's designed to be temporary.
The source leaves us with a final piece of advice that I think is worth repeating. It says, stop frantically searching the highway. Go home, sit down, find out who you are.
And it adds a line that I think I'm going to be chewing on for a long time. The universe is a mathematician, and the script is perfect.
That is a provocative thought to leave with. We spend so much time fighting reality, wishing the script was different, wishing AI hadn't been invented.
Wishing the economy was like it was in the 90s.
Right. But the source suggests that if you trust the mathematician, if you trust that the set design has changed for a reason, you can stop fighting the current. If you find out who you actually are, the rest of the role, your career, your purpose, your peace, will just naturally fall into place.
It's a message of trust. Trust in the design and trust in yourself.
Precisely. The director has written a beautiful script. We just need to stop obsessing over the set design and actually play our parts.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. We hope this helps you feel a little less like you're dodging traffic on the highway and a little more like you're sitting comfortably in your favorite chair.
Go find that wallet. It's been there the whole time.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.